Good afternoon, I'm TK, and this is TK's video blog. Good to have you with us, good to see you all again. Welcome. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, let's get right down to it, shall we? And review our movie of the day. This week's movie is Mufasa the Lion King. The movie stars Aaron Pierre, Kevin Harrison Jr., John Caney, Kagiso Ladiga, Seth Rogen, Billy Eichner, Tiffany Boone, Donald Glover, Mads Mikkelsen, Thandaway Newton, Lenny James, Blue Ivy Carter, Beyonce Knowles Carter, Preston Neiman, Annika Non Rose, and Keith David. So, what's the movie about? Well, the plot of this movie, so it's an interesting plot. It's a very simple plot. I have some thoughts about it, which we'll get into in a bit here. But for right now, the plot of this movie, so this movie is a sequel, or prequel if you like, to the 2019 live-action Lion King. Now, the plot of this movie, the movie itself, it is essentially this. So this movie, it is basically the backstory of Mufasa and Scar, or as he was previously known, Taka. Now, indeed this movie, it delves into very much so, how Scar got his name and why. That is very much a big part of this movie, as you might imagine. Now, the framing device of this movie is an interesting one. It is told by Rafiki, with Timon and Pumbaa adding colorful commentary to Simba's daughter Kiara, who is with Rafiki being babysat by Timon and Pumbaa, while Simba is away on an adventure of his own. So overall, the plot of the movie, the framing device and everything, all very interesting indeed, and really worthy of being told, and I enjoyed them very much. So yeah, that's basically the plot of the movie. Very interesting plot indeed. So, let's talk about the movie a little more in depth now, shall we? So the plot of this movie is an interesting plot, having the backstory of Scar and Mufasa, how Scar got his name, how Scar got his scar in his eye, all that good stuff. Now it's a little cliche how it happened, I thought, but that said, I like it. I like the whole backstory thing. I like the whole prequel thing. I also like that it's a little bit of a sequel. It's kind of a little bit of both mixed together. I like that. That's good. Good plot there. I think it's also an interesting element of the plot to see how Scar and Mufasa, how their relationship deteriorated to the point that it was in The Lion King, to a point where Scar hated Mufasa and wanted to kill him and eventually did. So that's an interesting element as well. I think that seeing Scar and Mufasa as cubs and then as young adults, I think that's very interesting as well. I think that having Timon and Pumbaa add color commentary throughout the story, I think it's an interesting element. I think it adds humor, but I don't know if it was really needed. I think you could have cut that out and you wouldn't really know the difference. So that I'm not too sold on, but overall, I think all the elements of the plot are interesting. They gel well together. It's just an interesting plot overall. I'm kind of glad they did it. I like the story. Now, I do have an issue with it, which I'll get to in a minute or two here, but overall, I like the plot. I think the plot gels well, good flow, good continuity throughout. So yeah, the plot is really good there. The cast in the movie, really well cast indeed. They have a lot of heart and a lot of emotion in their roles. You can really feel it. They have the believability factor, and that's great. You want that in any cast, because if you have that in the cast, you're going to connect with the movie more, and I think you do in this case, at least with the cast. Now, I will say, Billy Eichner and Seth Rogen as Timon and Pumbaa, they are good. I like the chemistry they have, but I think Ernie Sabella and Nathan Lane are far better as Timon and Pumbaa, and I think that they would have been better in this movie bringing them back, but not bad at all. And I also like the beginning of the movie. It does a nice little tribute to James Earl Jones, the original voice of Mufasa, and I mean, he's a legend, big legend, so I'm glad they did that. But overall, the casting really well cast indeed, and I'm really impressed with them indeed. Now, the music in the movie, so Lin-Manuel Miranda, of Hamilton fame, he did the music in the movie. Now, the music in the movie, there are equivalents to the original Lion King. I think that was done purposely. Now, I will say the music is very catchy, and for a Lion King movie, it should be. The song that's really stuck in my head is I Always Wanted a Brother. Really catchy song indeed, so that's a good song. And, I mean, overall, the music, it works. It's catchy, it's upbeat, it fits the tone of the movie. And yeah, I mean, I really like the music in the movie. It's really well done indeed. I would also add, in addition to being well done, it is a very worthy addition to The Lion King in terms of music. So yeah, overall the music is really well done. Now, in terms of the editing in the movie, the editing is a very big thing for me. As you know, I'm an editor myself. And so it's done well, good continuity throughout, good flow, good rhythm, it makes sense. So the editing is well done for an animated movie. It's not really live action, but I mean, again, it's animated CGI. And I mean, the editing in that respect is well done. Animated is a little bit different than like using real people, but the editing is still, there's a lot of the same elements, so it is well done. And it is, again, good continuity, good flow, good rhythm, so it makes sense. As far as, so it's a prequel and a sequel, and so it's kind of flashback stitched together with present day, and that editing can get a little confusing. I don't think it does in this case, which is great. because that can really sink a movie, and I don't think it does in this case. I think it actually works, and I think it's well done, so that I really would give high marks for as well. Now here's my issue with the movie. So the movie is done in the CGI animation, live action animation, that the 2019 Lion King was done in, and there's not a problem with that. I like that. But thinking about it, reading the critics' reviews from that and from this, and just watching the original 2019 Lion King back again and thinking about this one. So the issue is, in the original animated Lion King movie, the original traditional animated Lion King movie, you could see the emotion in the characters' faces, and indeed that translated well and you connected. Now in the 2019 Lion King movie, that was a big criticism, was that because they were so realistic, you couldn't see the emotions in the characters' faces and they were too realistic. And I think that happens again in this movie to an extent. And I think that that kind of takes away a little bit from the emotional element of the movie, and you kind of lose a little bit of that connection. So that would be the only thing I would say about this movie, is I think the plot was good, I think the music was good, I think it's a worthy addition to the Lion King series, but the issue is, I think it would have been better if they'd animated it in the traditional 2D animation that the original Lion King trilogy used, the Lion King 2 Simba's Pride, and the Lion King 1.5. I think if they'd done that kind of animation, it would have been better. But I also think that this movie was worthy of being told. It was good. Everything worked in it. It was just really the animation I kind of take a little bit of a beef with. But yeah, overall it was great. I enjoyed the movie. Really good movie. Really entertaining movie. And I mean, it has some memorable lines. One of my friends and I saw it. Our favorite line that we keep repeating to each other is, "You smell like a duck." Now, I'm not going to give away too much where that line comes in, because that is actually a major spoiler, how it comes in and how it's used. So I don't want to give too much away there, but it is a really funny line. We keep repeating that to each other. But overall, the movie is a very good movie, very entertaining movie, and certainly worthy of being made for sure and told. So, the moment of truth has arrived. What would I give the movie out of 20, and what I recommend it to y'all? Well, I think I'd have to give the movie an 18 out of 20, and here's why. The casting worked, plot worked, music was great, believability in the cast, editing was good. The only thing I really take issue with was the animation. I wish it had been the standard 2D, and I think if it had been, it would have been that much better. Because you would have seen more of the emotion in the characters' faces on screen. So that would be my only real beef with it. Other than that, I thought it was good. I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was worth watching. My friend and I really enjoyed ourselves watching it. And it was just really, really good overall. A worthy addition to the Lion King franchise. Musically as well, worthy addition there as well. And just really, really good, really entertaining. I would highly recommend watching it. 18 out of 20 for sure. Really hope you all enjoy it. Alright, well, looking at my watch, it looks like we're about out of time. So please, remember, I'm pointing at the comment section now. All season long, I want to hear from you. What do you like about this blog? What don't you like about this blog? What could I do differently in this blog? All that good stuff and then some. I'd really love to hear from you all. I really, really would. Also, please remember, all season long, you can reach out, recommend a movie, TV show, book, song, album for me to review, and I might just review it for you all, right here on TK's video blog. Now, I can't always promise you you'll like the review or agree with everything I have to say in the review, but what I will promise you all is I will always keep it fair, and I will always keep it honest. That is my commitment to you all, as always. So, with that all being said, until next week, please, take care, be safe, and goodbye, everyone. Have a great weekend. I'll see you right back here next week.